Pudgy Squirrel. Do you know the Pudgy Squirrel? It was living in a small tree that grew in a small forest in a small land. During the cold winter, all the other squirrels were sleeping until it became warmer again in spring. But our friend, the Pudgy Squirrel, stayed awake, sitting in his blue chair, and ate some delicious nuts instead. One day during summer, the squirrel wanted to meet its friend, the nice kitty. So it put some nuts into its red backpack and left the little forest it was living in. The way to Kitty was very long. And while it was walking, the squirrel whistled a happy melody because it was so excited to see its good friend Kitty soon. After a while, the Pudgy Squirrel reached the shore of the ocean. How should it get across the water? It surely couldn't swim that far. Then it noticed a bunny that was sitting on a rock. The squirrel said, "Hey, bunny, everything all right?" Said the bunny. "I'm sad all the time and I don't feel like doing anything at all." The squirrel thought about this and then it knew what to do. It hugged the bunny as nice as it could, because it remembered that when it was a little sad sometimes before, it always felt better when it got hugged by someone. And it worked. The bunny started to smile and wasn't sad anymore. "Thanks for the hug you gave me," said the bunny. "If you like, we can ask my friend over there to take us over the ocean to your friend Kitty." The squirrel looked in the direction that the bunny was pointing with his finger. It saw a beautiful swan with glasses was already waiting for them and smiled. "Oh yes," said the squirrel. "That sounds like a very good idea to me. You are both very nice and I think we'll have a good time together." They sat down on the swan's back and the journey over the ocean began. All three of them laughed almost all the time because they were having such a great time together. Soon they would reach the coast of the other side of the ocean and our friend, the squirrel, could continue on its way to meet Kitty. The three friends finally reached the other side of the sea and the squirrel said goodbye to the bunny and the swan. "Thank you both," it said, while waving its hand. "Goodbye, Pudgy Squirrel," said the bunny. "Thank you too. I hope you find Kitty and that we meet again soon." The swan swam back with the bunny and the squirrel walked on. A bit later, our squirrel saw a little raccoon sitting next to a bush and eating one purple berry after another from it. "Hey, little raccoon," said the squirrel. "Everything all right?" "No," answered the raccoon. "I can't stop eating these happy berries. First, they made me happy when I ate them, and now I have to eat them, or I will feel really bad. I do nothing else anymore but eat them. The other animals told me that they are unhealthy and bad for me." "Oh," the squirrel said, and thought about this. Then the squirrel had an idea and took the raccoon by its hand. It said, "Come, I want to show you something better than the stupid happy berries." The raccoon was a little scared at first and said, "Oh, but then I might feel bad for a while when I don't eat them. Is this thing you want to show me really better than happy berries?" "Yes, much better," replied the Pudgy Squirrel. "Don't worry, I'm staying with you all the time. They both walked together for a long time. The squirrel did not stop holding the raccoon's hand and told him nice and something funny stories. And the raccoon listened to them, and after a while it wasn't thinking about the happy berries anymore. He didn't even feel bad, because the Pudgy Squirrel stories were so interesting and funny that he forgot about feeling bad. Finally, he didn't want to eat the happy berries anymore, because he understood that they were not good for him. The raccoon said, "Hey, you wanted to show me that it is better to stay away from the happy berries and nothing else, right?" The squirrel laughed and answered, "Hey, yes, you're right. It was a little trick, but it worked and helped you, didn't it?" "Yes, thank you so much. I promise that I won't touch the berries again, or I will be addicted to them," the raccoon replied. "Very good," the squirrel said. "Here, have a delicious nut from me, just in case you get hungry. I bet you will love them just as much as I do." Then it gave the raccoon a nut out of his backpack and said goodbye, and then it traveled on to find his friend Kitty. Suddenly, the Pudgy Squirrel met a big brown bear. The bear waved his hand and said, "Hello, little friend." The squirrel greeted the bear too and said, "Hello, bear. Wow, you are really tall. Hey, do you maybe know how I can get to Kitty?" "Sorry," said the bear. "I don't know what or where a kitty is, but I don't know very much anyway. I need a little longer to learn things, and the other animals say that I am a bit slow and even call me a dummy bear sometimes." The squirrel did not like how the other animals called the big bear and said, "Now, that's not very nice of them. Let me think on how to help you." The squirrel said, "When you need a little longer to learn something, you are still as smart as the other animals after you learned it, right? That does not make you a dummy bear. If you can't remember things very good, then look what I have for you." The squirrel looked into its backpack and then gave the bear a pen and some pieces of paper. It told the bear that he could just draw or write everything he learned on the paper. He could look at it later, and it would help him to remember everything much better. This made the bear very happy. "Oh, for me? Thank you very much. You are really a smart squirrel." The bear picked up the squirrel and allowed it to stand on his shoulders. He said, "Let me help you by carrying you a while. Then you will get to your kitty much faster." The squirrel liked this idea, because they both traveled much faster together. After a while, the bear stopped and the squirrel climbed down again. "That was fun," the squirrel said. "I'm sure we will meet again. Bye, big bear." Then it continued its way and was happy to have made yet another new friend. On his way, the Pudgy Squirrel saw that somebody was hiding behind a tree. "Hey, I can see you," said the squirrel. Slowly, a little hedgehog was peeking around the tree. He looked scared, and so the squirrel asked the hedgehog, "Everything okay, my spiky friend?" The hedgehog answered, "Oh, I am always so scared of everything. Something bad could happen, for example." The squirrel took the hedgehog's hand and said, "You don't have to be scared so much. You can ask the animals that you trust if the thing that scares you is really that bad. They will tell you that you don't need to worry and that you're safe." But that didn't calm the hedgehog, and he replied, Yes, but then I can still imagine scary things in my mind, like spooky ghosts and other naughty things. The squirrel thought about this and said, "Well, that sounds like a very difficult problem, but there is a super easy solution to this. If you can imagine these spooky things, then you can imagine something nice and strong that can protect you from them too, right?" The hedgehog understood what the squirrel meant. He thought of the naughty blue ghost that always scared him. But this time, he also imagined a nice and strong knight who protected him from the ghost. The knight told the ghost to go away, or he would hit him with his big sword. And this time, it was the naughty blue ghost that was afraid and fled as fast as he could. "It works!" shouted the hedgehog. "How can I thank you, Pudgy Squirrel?" "You don't have to give me anything," the squirrel said. "I like to help others and only want to get to Kitty." The hedgehog asked, "Kitty? I know a kitty. She lives not far from here. Just walk down that path and you're already there." The squirrel thanked the hedgehog and ran in the direction the hedgehog was pointing. It was so excited and happy to see Kitty. And the hedgehog was right. Finally, the Pudgy Squirrel met its kitty. They were both so happy to meet again that they hugged each other and giggled out of joy for a long time. The Pudgy Squirrel and Kitty baked a big nut cake together. They invited all the other animals that the squirrel met on his journey to come and eat the cake with them. They told each other about their own story with the Pudgy Squirrel, and they laughed and talked for a long, long time. And finally, all of them became best friends forever. That was the Pudgy Squirrel. See you next time.